1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
he had Palace players, well, before he put up the card, but there was a great clamour to have this guy booked in the crowd. I mean, it's what happens, you know, it's tribal, because it did look bad, the way he kicked, pushed or whatever he did. Sarr went to the ground. So I think he was unlucky, Gudmundsson, because I don't think the ref was going to book him. He didn't indicate that he was going to. He was then overtaken by events and the pressure from the crowd and probably the bench shouting over as well. And he did go over to book a couple of people on Palace's bench. So that was interesting. But he then sort of thought, well, I better book him. And they must be subject to this enormous pressure when someone clearly has been fouled. So he booked him without realising he'd already booked him. And the fact is, if he had realised, he wasn't going to book him. Anyway, the upshot of that was Leeds were down to 10 men. It was still not a great game, got to say. You might call it a bit of a bore draw, to be honest. Don't like saying that about Palace, but we've had a couple of those, including one last week against Larnaca in the conference. The second one, the away leg, is this Thursday, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, it was the ref got it wrong, and he'll probably be disciplined in some way. He did get it wrong, but they do an impossible job. That whatever they do is going to be criticised by one team or the other. But that was quite a unique situation where a ref does give a second yellow and forgets or doesn't, not aware he's already booked that player. And it was a long walk for Gudmundsson. I don't often feel sorry for opposition players, but I think a lot of us felt a bit sorry for him, because if that had been one of our players, we'd have said he should never have been booked for that foul, you know, although it did look bad at the time, I have to say. So yeah, that was one, but almost overtaken in humour by poor Paul Tierney being stuck inside the Chelsea scrum or the Chelsea
that was really funny.
Whatever.
That was really funny. Yeah. Now Liverpool, they played. Was it West Ham they played? No.
I'll tell you who Liverpool played. Liverpool played Tottenham at the weekend.
Yeah, so they played Tottenham.
Spurs. Yeah.
I think they drew, didn't they?
1-1. Yeah.
1-1.
Which was an unexpected result for Spurs, wasn't it? I mean, the word was, I think possibly they may have said it on the commentary, but the word was if Tottenham had lost, they would have sacked Igor Tudor, the manager. Now, whether that's true, we don't know, but we know he probably is in the last chance saloon because they're desperate not to be relegated, obviously. So that was a tough game, but on paper, the way Spurs have been playing, Liverpool would or should have won that, but no, they did quite well, I think, to get a draw out of it.
So there was Sloboslai.
Soboslai, yes. Hard to say that, isn't it? Soboslai, yeah.
Soboslai.
Great goal he scored. Brilliant goal, wasn't it?
It's got a brilliant free kick in it. Right.
Yeah.
Now, in his press interview, he said something along the lines of Liverpool will be lucky to get the Conference League with the way that they're playing. Is that an indication of where Liverpool is at the moment?
Yeah, it's a really good question, isn't it? They're certainly not the Liverpool who won the league last year in terms of how they're playing. Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery, really, because, of course, they lost, didn't they, recently to Wolves as well, which was a very strange result. Although I think they got their own back in the subsequent cup match a week or so later. But, yeah, I mean, and actually, it is actually...
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
I mean, and actually, it is actually epitomised, good word, by Salah. I mean, I like Salah. I think he's a good sporting player of integrity. I believe that, and he was a wonderful footballer. And I say was because he's not the same player this season. And we know he was dropped before Christmas for a while, and he was very upset about it. And it's like, although he's come back and he plays, it's like he's not. Something's missing now. Whether that just is getting a bit older, it seems strange to so suddenly. He can't seem to take on a player and beat them like he could. He would go down the wing, cut inside. He was very quick, and he had this beautiful left foot shot bending into the top corner, and he could do that almost to order. He was so good, but he's not scored many goals. I mean, you think by this time, most of the last few seasons, every one of the last few seasons, he's up there with 20 goals, a bit more, amongst the top players. But I don't know how many he's got this season. Perhaps I'm doing him a disservice, but I don't think he's scored anything like that. He just, he did go through a spell of being dropped anyway, but he just isn't doing it. And for me, that's not to say it's all down to him. Of course it's not. But there's a falling off this season with Liverpool, with the players. I think early in the season, I don't think Van Dijk was up to his best. I think he's regained his form. They had some good players who come in. Of course, they lost Isak, and I don't know whether he'll come back before the end of the season. He may have made a difference. Ekitike, great player in the early games he played, but tremendous. But even he seems to have. He went down a few dead-end streets in the game the other day where he just doesn't look that sharp. So whether there's a kind of an infectious negative that's going on, I mean, the exception would be Szoboszlai. I mean, he still seems to be the player. Everything seems to go through him. He's all over the pitch. He's a great footballer. He really is. He's shown that this season, probably more than any other season. So his form hasn't fallen away. But I would say generally, it's not the Liverpool that we used to see, or that we even under Slot last season. Now, I mean, there's been talk that maybe he won't be kept on there at the end of this season. As you say about the conference, it depends where they finish. They're obviously not going to get into the top 3 or 4, I imagine. So it could well be the conference that they get into, at least that. I mean, they've got to do that. If they didn't get there, I think he wouldn't stay. They wouldn't keep him. But I still think he's a good manager. It's difficult to, generally with managers, I think we get a feel about them with Klopp and Guardiola.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the